Let's not waste any time. Number 10. The endless scroll trap. You're lying in bed, telling yourself you'll just check one quick notification on your phone. Next thing you know, an hour has disappeared into a black hole of videos, memes, and random comments. You think it's just poor self-control, but this habit is literally reshaping your brain in ways scientists are only beginning to understand. Every time you scroll through social media or endless feeds, your brain gets these unpredictable hits of dopamine, the feel-good chemical that's also released when you eat your favorite food or win at a game. But unlike predictable rewards, the unpredictability of what you'll see next makes it addictive. It's designed exactly like a slot machine in a casino. Pull the lever or refresh the feed, and sometimes you hit the jackpot with something hilarious or shocking. Over time, this trains your brain to crave constant novelty. Studies from neuroscientists at places like the University of California show that heavy scrollers have altered activity in the nucleus accumbens, the brain's reward center. Your prefrontal cortex, which handles impulse control and long-term planning, starts to weaken. It's like your brain is being reprogrammed to prioritize quick hits over meaningful tasks. One long-term study tracked thousands of people and found that excessive social media use correlates with reduced gray matter in areas responsible for emotional regulation. You might notice it yourself. Real-life conversations feel slower, books harder to finish, work requiring deep focus becomes torture. Your brain has adapted to rapid-fire stimulation, making anything slower feel painfully boring. The average attention span has plummeted from about 12 seconds in the year 2000, when mobile internet was just starting, to just 8 seconds today. That's shorter than a goldfish's attention span, which clocks in at 9 seconds. Next time you reach for your phone during a quiet moment, remember you're not just killing time. You're actively training your brain to become addicted to distraction, making it harder to enjoy the deeper, more fulfilling parts of life. Number 9. The multitasking myth. You're proud of your ability to juggle tasks. Answering emails while on a call, eating lunch during a meeting, scrolling news while watching TV. You call yourself efficient, a productivity master. But science says you're doing the exact opposite, slowly diminishing your brain's capabilities. True multitasking doesn't exist for the human brain. What you're doing is task switching, rapidly shifting attention from one thing to another. Each switch comes with a cognitive cost called the switching penalty. Your brain has to disengage from one task, reload the rules for the next, and refocus. This drains mental energy fast. Researchers at Stanford University compared heavy multitaskers to people who focus on one thing at a time. The results were shocking. Chronic multitaskers performed worse on every cognitive test. They had poorer memory, reduced ability to filter out distractions, and even lower overall intelligence scores in some areas. Brain scans revealed lower density in the anterior cingulate cortex, the region that controls focus, error detection, and emotional regulation. It's like spreading your mental resources so thin that nothing gets done well. Over years, this habit can lead to increased stress and burnout because your brain is constantly in high alert mode. One experiment had participants switch between tasks like solving math problems and classifying shapes. They made twice as many errors and took longer than those doing tasks sequentially. In real life, this means more mistakes at work, forgotten details in conversations, and a general feeling of being overwhelmed. If you want a sharper brain, try single tasking. Focus on one thing fully before moving to the next. Your brain will thank you by becoming more efficient and less frazzled. Number 8. The sitting epidemic. Modern life has us glued to chairs for work, commuting, entertainment. You might stand up occasionally, but hours of sitting each day are quietly eroding your brain health. Prolonged sedentary behavior isn't just bad for your back or heart. It's linked to structural changes in the brain. A large study published in the journal PLOS analyzed brain scans from over 35,000 people. Those who sat the most had thinner regions in the medial temporal lobe, including the hippocampus, the key area for memory formation and spatial navigation. Thinning here is one of the earliest signs of cognitive decline and Alzheimer's disease. Sitting reduces blood flow to the brain, depriving it of oxygen and nutrients needed for neuron growth. It also lowers production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, often called miracle grow for the brain because it promotes new neuron growth and connections. Another study from UCLA found that sedentary people had reduced thickness in brain regions responsible for processing new memories. But here's the good news. Even light activity like walking interrupts the damage. Researchers estimate that replacing just 2 hours of sitting with standing or light movement can preserve brain volume. Think about your typical day: desk job, car commute, evening on the couch. That's easily 10 to 12 hours of sitting. Over months and years, this accumulates into measurable brain changes. Small habits like standing desks, walking meetings, or short strolls every hour can counteract it. Your brain evolved for movement. Our ancestors walked miles daily. By sitting too much, you're essentially putting your brain in hibernation mode when it needs activity to thrive. Number 7, the stress snowball. Daily stressors, traffic, deadlines, arguments seem normal, but chronic stress is one of the most destructive habits for your brain. When stressed, your body releases cortisol, which in short bursts helps you react to threats. But constant elevation is toxic. High cortisol levels over time shrink the prefrontal cortex, impairing decision-making, focus, and willpower. Simultaneously, it enlarges the amygdala, making you more reactive and fearful. Brain imaging studies on chronically stressed individuals show these exact changes: reduced volume in rational thinking areas and hyperactivity in emotional centers. This creates a vicious cycle. Your brain becomes wired to overreact to minor stressors, producing more cortisol and further damaging itself. One landmark study followed people with high work stress for years and found accelerated brain aging, with cognitive abilities declining faster than in low-stress peers. Stress also disrupts neurogenesis in the hippocampus, reducing your ability to form new memories and learn. It's why stressed people often feel foggy and forgetful. Women might be more vulnerable due to hormonal interactions, but everyone suffers. The habit of ruminating, replaying worries, amplifies this. Breaking the cycle with techniques like journaling, exercise, or therapy can reverse some damage. Your brain is resilient, but ignoring chronic stress is like letting a snowball roll downhill. It only gets bigger and more destructive. Number 6, the junk food wiring. Craving chips, soda, or fast food feels like a harmless preference, but regularly eating ultra-processed foods profoundly alters your brain chemistry. These foods are engineered with perfect ratios of sugar, fat, and salt to hijack your reward system. They trigger massive dopamine surges, far beyond what natural foods provide. Over time, your brain adapts by reducing dopamine receptors, requiring more junk to feel the same pleasure. This is the same mechanism as addiction to drugs like cocaine. Yale researchers developed a food addiction scale and found many people meet clinical criteria, with brain scans showing similar patterns to substance abusers. The orbitofrontal cortex, which evaluates rewards, becomes less responsive to healthy foods, making vegetables taste bland while chips remain irresistible. Long-term, this contributes to inflammation that affects brain function, linking diets high in processed foods to higher depression and anxiety rates. One study fed rats a junk food diet and saw rapid changes: increased impulsivity and reduced motivation, mirroring human experiences. Kids exposed early developed stronger preferences, setting up lifelong habits. Switching to whole foods can gradually reset your brain, but it takes time as receptors recover. That quick snack isn't innocent. It's training your brain to crave the very things harming it. Number 5, the meditation miracle. In a world of constant noise, sitting quietly for a few minutes seems unproductive. But meditation is one of the most evidence-backed ways to positively transform your brain structure. Studies using MRI scans on long-term meditators show increased gray matter in the hippocampus, better memory and learning, and reduced volume in the amygdala, less reactivity to stress. Even beginners see changes after just 8 weeks. A famous study from Harvard had participants meditate 27 minutes daily. Scans revealed thicker cerebral cortex in areas for attention and sensory processing. Meditation strengthens the prefrontal cortex, improving focus and emotional regulation. It also boosts connectivity between brain regions, enhancing overall cognitive function. Unlike many habits, benefits compound. Experienced meditators have brains appearing years younger, with slower age-related decline. Types like mindfulness or loving kindness work differently. Mindfulness sharpens attention, while compassion practices grow empathy centers. Start small, 10 minutes daily. Apps guide you, but consistency matters more than perfection. This ancient practice, now backed by modern neuroscience, literally rebuilds your brain for calm, clarity, and resilience in a chaotic world. Number 4, the exercise upgrade. Hitting the gym or going for a run feels like body work, but exercise is arguably the single best habit for brain health. Aerobic activity increases BDNF production dramatically, promoting neurogenesis in the hippocampus. One study found runners grew their hippocampus by 2% annually, reversing age-related shrinkage. Exercise improves blood flow, delivering more oxygen and nutrients while clearing waste. It reduces inflammation and boosts mood chemicals like endorphins and serotonin. Strength training benefits too, enhancing executive function. Meta-analyses show regular exercisers have sharper memory, faster thinking, and lower dementia risk. Even moderate activity like brisk walking 150 minutes weekly yields measurable gains. Intensity matters. Aerobic for BDNF, resistance for cognitive control. Exercise mimics ancient survival needs. Hunting, gathering. Modern sedentary life deprives your brain of this stimulation. Make it habitual. Find enjoyable activities to sustain long-term. Your workouts aren't vanity. They're building a bigger, better functioning brain. Number 3, the learning loop. Picking up a new skill, language, instrument, coding feels challenging, but it's one of the best ways to keep your brain young and adaptable. Neuroplasticity allows your brain to rewire throughout life. Learning creates new neural pathways and strengthens myelin sheaths for faster signaling. Musicians develop enlarged motor and auditory cortices. London taxi drivers who memorize streets have oversized hippocampi. Bilingual people have denser gray matter in language areas and delayed dementia onset by years. Challenging learning, something effortful, drives most growth. Easy activities entertain, but don't reshape. Lifelong learners show better cognitive reserve, buffering against decline. Apps make starting easy, but persistence pays off. That hobby you've delayed isn't frivolous. It's investing in a more capable brain. Number 2, the sleep shortcut. Burning the midnight oil seems productive, but chronic sleep deprivation devastates your brain. During deep sleep, the glymphatic system clears beta amyloid and tau proteins linked to Alzheimer's. Poor sleep accelerates buildup. REM sleep consolidates memories and processes emotions. Less than 7 hours impairs prefrontal function, reducing focus and decision-making like alcohol intoxication. Long-term, it shrinks brain volume and raises dementia risk. Teens and adults suffer similarly. Naps help, but consistent nights are best. Prioritize sleep hygiene, dark room, routine. Quality sleep isn't luxury. It's essential maintenance, keeping your brain sharp and healthy. Number 1, the gratitude rewiring. Defaulting to negativity is human. Our brains evolved threat focus. But cultivating gratitude counteracts this powerfully. Journaling thankful things shifts activity to the prefrontal cortex, boosting dopamine and serotonin. Studies show regular practice increases resilience, reduces depression, and even alters gene expression for less inflammation. Brain scans reveal stronger pathways for positive emotions. It rewires negativity bias toward appreciation. Start simple, 3 things daily. Over time, your brain naturally notices good more. This habit doesn't just feel better. It fundamentally changes how your brain processes the world, leading to lasting happiness. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.